Good morning. Here is the news at 10. First, the highlights. Lagos State government appeals to travelers to give accurate information about travel history, declares quarantined Chinese national coronavirus free. Inspector General of Police decries mix-up of security political issues. On the foreign scene, World Health Organization pledges $12 billion coronavirus aid package for developing countries. And in sports, Heartland FC goalie seeks early 2021 AFCON qualification for Super Eagles. Now the details. I am Dele Agadumo. The Lagos State government says the Chinese national who arrived Lagos on an Ethiopian airliner and was quarantined because he was coughing has tested negative for coronavirus. The government has also appealed to frequent travelers to always give accurate information about their personal details and travel history. This is to enable government protect them in case of contagious diseases and other unforetold occurrences. Commissioner for Health Akin Abayomi made the appeal against the backdrop of government's inability to trace some of the travelers who flew into Lagos with the coronavirus index patient who is currently in medical isolation at the Infectious Disease Hospital, IDH Yaba. Abayomi pointed out that the fact that 35 persons out of those who flew in with the infected Italian could not be traced indicates that they gave false information about themselves.
It's inappropriate for you to fly into a country and give misinformation. So I would appeal to everybody. If you're flying into this country from anywhere in the world, it is in the interest of public safety and it is in your interest that you give us the right information. If you fall sick, it's important that we're there to help you. And it's also important that you're not in a position to spread the infection to other people. I think that is irresponsible.
He said the hotel where the index patient lodged overnight in Lagos had been decontaminated while the patient himself is responding to treatment. Abayomi said an individual who came into Lagos via Ethiopia has been quarantined at the IDH and tests are currently being conducted to determine his status. On allegations that not all those who came into the country are tested at the port, Abayomi explained that tests are conducted based on an individual's travel history, which is why all those who had been to endemic countries are usually advised to self-quarantine for at least 2 weeks. The commissioner renewed the appeal on Nigerians to desist from sharing fake information about coronavirus as it takes a lot of man-hours and resources to verify such claims. He noted that Nigerians who are in the habit of treating high temperature and muzzle aches with malaria and typhoid drugs should desist from such bad medical practice, especially at this time as the coronavirus does not have a cure.
Now the time for us to recognize that this is absolutely bad medical practice. If somebody has a fever, there is a reason for the fever. Malaria is not the only thing that gives you a fever. So majority of people with fever are being treated with the wrong medication. And that is why we have a whole bunch of anti-malaria drugs that don't work, because the parasites have developed resistance. You should only give anti-malaria when you have a positive malaria test, never otherwise. The same thing with antibiotics.
Abayomi added that health workers have been trained to recognize warning signs and when to notify the appropriate authorities. Residents of Lagos State have been urged to support Governor Sanwo-Olu's administration in its determination to contain the spread of coronavirus in the state. A member of the Lagos State Governor's Advisory Council (GAC), Larry Razak, who made the plea, also enjoined them to promptly pay their taxes and rates, obey traffic and sanitation laws, as well as report the activities of criminal elements to security agencies in order to maintain the current peace and security across the state. According to him, the state government will only be able to meet its statutory obligations to the citizens if they fulfill their part of the bargain by promptly discharging their civic duties. Razak said the current transformational strides of the Sanwo-Olu administration across socio-economic sectors and the progressive governance handed Lagosians by successive governments in Lagos State in the last 2 decades will continue to speak positivity. Razak believed that merit, track record of service and pedigree of politicians rather than stomach infrastructure and primordial sentiments such as ethnicity and religion that guided the voters in electing their leaders. The Director General of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, Chikwe Ihekwazu, is currently under self-quarantine for possible infection of the deadly coronavirus. Minister of Health Osage Ehanire, who was at the National Assembly to brief the Senate leadership on the level of Nigeria's preparedness to contain the virus, made this known. According to him, Ihekwazu went into self-quarantine after his return from China to Nigeria and will remain in quarantine in his house for 14 days. In response, President of the Senate Ahmed Lawan has asked the Ministry of Health to immediately step up the plan to create more isolation centers in all the states of the Federation, or at least make plans to have one in each of the 6 geopolitical zones. And now to the rest of the stories. The Nigeria Shippers Council has assured that the constant gridlock experienced in the Apapa and its environs will soon disappear, as there are plans to link Apapa and Tinkan to rail by the 3rd quarter of this year. Executive Secretary, Nigeria Shippers Council, Hassan Bello, who made this known, also said there would be 24-hour cargo clearance in the port to ease congestion.
It is important that we have 24-hour port operations. And 24-hour port operations means everybody must be in sync. The terminals are open, for example, on Saturdays, but then the clearing agents may not be there, or some other regulatory agencies that are part of the clearing systems are not there. We have to all come to, in the same. The airports operate 24 hours, so the port must operate 24 hours. So which means there will not be any congestions, as far as clearance of cargo is concerned.
Bello stated that the rumors in some quarters that the presidential task force set up to tackle the gridlock in Apapa is of no effect is not true. He said there would have been a total lockdown if not for the efforts of the task force. The Lagos State House of Assembly has unanimously passed the bill on Amotekun Corps, a security outfit of the Southwest. Speaker of the House, Mudashiru Obasa, explained that the bill sought to unify the proposed law that would guide the security outfit jointly established by the Southwest governors. He said the Amotekun Corps bill was passed by amending the Lagos State Neighborhood Safety Corps Agency Bill. He added that Amotekun was a security outfit that had come to stay in the region. The Nigeria Police says it will continue to ensure that crime rate is reduced through strategies to be implemented gradually. Inspector General of Police Mohammed Adamu, who gave the assurance, said the police has sensitized the entire country on the concept of the principle of community policing. Adamu said though one of the ways to address conflict and insecurity is through good governance, the federal government can never be left alone to deal with security issues. He expressed concern over mix-up of security issues with political, ethnic and religious issues in the country, noting that securing the country was a Herculean task because of the various issues mixed up with security. He added that political, ethnic and religious issues were not supposed to be brought on board in line with securing the country. And now to foreign news. The World Bank has committed $12 billion in aid for developing countries grappling with the spread of coronavirus. The emergency package includes low-cost loans, grants and technical assistance. The action comes as leaders around the world pledge to shield their countries from the economic impact of the outbreak. It follows warnings that slowdown from the outbreak could tip countries into recession. The aid is intended to help countries improve their public health response to the crisis, as well as work with the private sector to reduce the economic impact. In our sports, Heartland FC and Nigeria's national team goalkeeper Ikechukwu Ezenwa has stated that he hopes to see the Super Eagles cross the AFCON 2021 qualifiers finish line early. Ezenwa made this remark as the team gets set to face Sierra Leone later this month in her third Group L AFCON 2021 qualifying match, having won back-to-back games against Benin Republic and Lesotho already in the opening 2 games. Ezenwa said everyone wants to see their country play at the 2021 AFCON proper, and Nigeria is no exception. He expressed hope that the Super Eagles can keep intact a recent record of ensuring qualification before the end of the qualifying campaign proper. That was our news at 10. Just before we go, road safety is everyone's responsibility. Please play your part. You can listen to Lagos Traffic Radio on our website www.trafficradio961.ng and follow us on our various social media platforms. On Twitter at Lagos Traffic 961, Instagram Lagos Traffic, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. The Lagos State government has appealed to frequent travelers to always give accurate information about their personal details and travel history. The Nigeria Police said it will continue to ensure that crime rate is reduced through strategies to be implemented gradually. We also told you that the World Bank has committed $12 billion in aid for developing countries grappling with the spread of coronavirus. And in sports, Heartland FC and Nigeria's national team goalkeeper Ikechukwu Ezenwa has stated that he hopes to see the Super Eagles cross the AFCON 2021 qualifiers finish line early. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to newsroom@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Abiola Fagbalagun. I am Dele Agadumo.